Okay, so this is actually then the same food we were talking about in this study. And I asked Dhanu because he gets a lot of anecdotal evidence from people who has used it. And because I've been looking at these for such a long time, I thought that just for you to kind of see what foods like these do, I asked him if he would kind of present some pictures that like before and after. So this is not scientific at all. This is very anecdotal, but I think that it really is eye-opening. So please.
Yeah, thanks, Doctor, for the brief introduction on the presentation that's going to happen now. We do have offline sales teams. We do have a project manager, and almost all of these data and the pictures that you see as anecdotal evidence will be from the field. And here goes. Just a few things that I think it's important for all of us to keep in mind, especially when we do something like this with vet students in the universities. Most often we just go in for treatment and we forget that nutrition can actually be as powerful as medicine. The following slides will be mostly showing you things that are on a metabolic nature, and all the dogs that are on this presentation are dogs that have either competed, finished their championships in competition trials, or are underway to competition trials. So this is the first case that we saw. It was a German Shepherd dog, 6 years old, on a very high quality food, but still you could see there was subcutaneous fat, lack of, I mean, by itself it doesn't look like a badly fed dog, but there was subcutaneous fat and also muscle tone and pigmentation. The same dog, after 3 months on the diet, is what you see on the right hand side, with enhanced pigmentation, much better body tone and musculature. And of course the dog was more active and had displayed better vitality, but that's something you cannot see on a picture. This is a 2.5-year-old Rottweiler dog, was fed a very high quality kibble, and the same dog after 5 months on the diet. Again, you could see there's a lot of substance the dog has put on, better pigmentation as well. A Labrador, about 2 years old. You could see clearly some of the things that can be seen here are muscle tone, lack of an undercoat, and the same dog after 2 months on the diet, increased substance and kilograms. This is a 4-year-old Labrador Retriever. The one on the left-hand side is she's on a ground that has been freshly mowed, but the pigmentation is pretty much almost white. And the same dog after 5 months on the diet is what you see on the right-hand side. And you can see increased muscle mass, much better skin tone on her. And in the next image, you can actually see there's a melanine pigmentation that has come back on her nostrils, which was not there on the before picture. This is a dog that was conditioned and trained in one of the best kennels in the world, in Germany. And after he came to India, you could find him on the right-hand side with a much better build of muscle and pigmentation. And it took him 5 months to change. And the same dog from the side profile. You could note the shoulders, and also on the forehand and on the hocks, just above the hocks, you could see the rust socks on the dog actually kind of disappearing to make it black. An example of what kind of diet these dogs were on earlier. I mean, obviously it's not the same brand, but on the left-hand side, it's just for the sake of a demonstration that I put something. Some dog were on this diet on the left-hand side, but all of them did move to what you see on the right-hand side. This is a Doberman that kind of transformed in 5 months. Same dog, but the diet was a different diet, and I will come to that. Better muscle conditioning, body tone, vitality, and pigmentation on the same dog. Now, these are working dogs. They are sport dogs. The guys have been feeding a very high quality diet, and you can see the body condition on the left, and the dog could do 5 cents in a session of training. The same dog, after about 3.5 months, was able to do 15 sessions in a training session. And what you see is on the right-hand side is the body conditioning score. And this is a junior Great Dane, so maybe between 8 months to 15 months. Lack of substance and overall conditioning. And then he was on the diet for 3 months, and you can see him on the right-hand side. Clearly muscle tone, including, you can actually see the dorsal muscles actually starting to show on the dog. And this was the diet all these second batch of dogs were on. They are the performance diet, meant for dogs that work a little more with higher energy needs. Why we think this works well is because it's a less inflammatory diet. It meets the FEDIAF recommendations from animal sourced ingredients, meaning the fruits, vegetables, and botanicals are extra, and the basic FEDIAF recommendations are met from just the animal sourced ingredients. It maintains a proportionality of micronutrients within the food. So while FEDIAF kind of gives maximum minimum thresholds, we did curate the diets to keep the proportionality. Of course, being whole foods, you have cofactor benefits, and being close to raw, we have a microbiome change that the dogs experience over time. And of course, they have better bioavailability. Now, the following slides you will see are where they have had some curative cases that's from the field. This is an 64-day-old Great Dane puppy, and the transformation you see on the rickets within 18 days of being on the diet. Of course, it's on a puppy diet, and this was a puppy food that was fed earlier, and then the transformation is also on a puppy food from the minimally processed diet. You find a 50-day-old puppy with dermaticosis, and 8 days is what it took between the photo on the left and the photo on the right. There was no medication. In all of these cases, no medication or supplementation is given extra to the puppies. Just as an illustrative, what you see as what the dogs were fed and what the dogs started eating to make the transformation. This is a 3-year-old Rottweiler that was in a university, and it had persistent mange. And after a period of close to around 20 days, then what you see on the right-hand side is the photograph between 20 to 30 days on this dog. And this is a 3-year-old Siberian Husky. You could see on the left-hand side some of the fungal infections the dog kept having on a recurrent basis. And after about a month, what you see on the right-hand side is the same dog lying on the floor, and a close-up of the lesions. And what these dogs were fed, as an example, you could see it on the left-hand side, the commercial premium kibble, and what they transformed to as a minimally processed diet. Again, here, I think the main reason is because of the nature of the food that is presented to them. And of course, the less inflammatory nature kind of helps the dog to transform faster. And of course, the proportionality and cofactors do help. Now, before we go to the next set of slides, I want to just say that some of the product managers that we have who are veterinarians on the field work closely with other practicing veterinarians. Some of them may not really be very proactive to suddenly adopting a raw/minimally processed diet. So very often our guys actually recommend them to trial some cases that come to them where they probably tried something and it didn't work out really good. So the following cases are some of those. Yeah, so this is a puppy. There was basically what we call as an indie breed. It's pretty native to us in India. 3 weeks prior to changing the diet, the dog had been on ivermectin with very little or no results to be seen. Diet was changed in the 4th week, and 7 days later is what you see on the right-hand side as to what the puppy showed. Puppy was earlier on the ivermectin plus this particular kibble. This is an 18-month-old case where the dog had recurrent atopy, and as and when required, they were giving it anti-inflammatories along with control of bacterial infections through antibiotics. And in 18 days on transformation to the diet, you could see the change already, and the dog did not have, the dog was on a hypoallergenic diet. And you could see that the dog did not show any itching or pinna reflex. Again, we attribute the reason to the kind of delivery of nutrients and the kind of ethos with which the food is made, meaning species appropriate, less inflammatory, meeting the recommendations of FEDIAF, microbiome change. And I think the microbiome change is very evident. So what we've seen from the field is within 18 to 25 days, you do see significantly or notable change in the diet. And that I think is primarily with a change of microbiome. This is a case that is quite surprising. In fact, you could actually check Anna's phone for more images on this. This dog transformed in 15 days. It was given Frulaner treatment and transformed on the food in 15 days time. One of the reasons we think it could be that that we see such results is primarily one, we do have some botanicals, which are Indian herbs that we add. We don't know if it's that, or we also add a consortia of probiotics. Now, is this along with the nutrient delivery mechanism working from within to change things for the dogs is something that's worth looking into for the future. But as of now, it appears that within about 18 to 30 days, you do see significant improvement in the coat conditions and especially with diseases of the coat. Whereas if you're talking about metabolism, it takes anywhere between 3 months to 5 months for you to see significant change. Thank you so much. Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you all.